All right. So, good morning. At this point, we're going for speed over quality because I'm still too lazy to make anything worthwhile in terms of editing and so forth. It's the very first day after arriving at our placements. So, it is Thursday, the 27th of July. And because I've got a few friends and contacts coming in for Group B and later I suppose for Group C, I thought I would just make this and then I don't have to answer too many questions in one go. Here's the story of what has happened since the last time we spoke. I got the haircut and I'm now in Japan, so things have changed considerably. In South Africa, we're Group A, so we had to do some local flights to all get together at our capital in Pretoria. That was really good because we got to meet each other. This year, 2017, we're about 42 people coming across, or 43, so that was quite good. It was a nice mix of people to meet beforehand. We also got together at the embassy and got to do a short Q&A, got told a few things that we should and shouldn't do. And then had a chance to mix with some of the local delegates and officials from the embassy and some other Japanese businessmen who were in the area. So that was quite a nice send-off, really nice. That was Friday the 21st. So on the 22nd, Saturday, then we flew across from South Africa via Hong Kong to Tokyo. So we arrived on the 23rd, which was Sunday, and this is our first day in Tokyo. So we get to the airport, we're all dressed casually, obviously, at this point. We collect our bags, and the process is really streamlined. There are people who take you aside when you're coming in, so the group actually goes through the immigration in a separate section away from other tourists and people coming into Japan, where the administration is done specifically for us, so administration, the registration cards and so forth. And I actually have mine. Please just give me 1 second. Alright, so starting again from there then, so we all got a registration card as well. The other side has got all my details on it. And this is what we use the whole time to prove that we are allowed to be in the country. This is the replacement of just the visa because we're staying now, obviously. So you get that at the airport most of the time, which is really nice. You go through, you collect your bags. Again, there are people with jet signs all the way through telling you where to go. For people who have medicine coming into the country, they can then show to the custom officials, and then you get outside, then you can repack, and then you finally give them at the airport the one bag that you want to send straight to your placement, and you keep what you want to have taken to orientation with you. We all get in a bus, we try not to fall asleep, and we're on our way to the Kyo Plaza Hotel. So the hotel is packed with jets. There are other people at the hotel as well, but you will just run into other placement jets constantly during your orientation there. We do tend to take it over slightly. The hotel is in Shinjuku, and there's two things. Number one, to my surprise, it's actually a really good hotel, both in terms of placement and in terms of quality. Sorry, that was actually the 2 points. So number one, the place is really good. Shinjuku Station is very close, Shinjuku Eki. There's also, I think, Shinjuku Chome, the one line that goes past even closer than Shinjuku Station, but the placement is really good and the hotel is really good. So on Sunday you've got nothing to do. You have a very short introduction orientation. They give you some paperwork and things. You do a quick registration and you get placed with whoever you're going to spend your time with. Your roommates tend to be people from your placements or from your country. So we almost all had South African roommates at this point. Sunday night you do whatever you want to do, and then Monday we kick off. So you're going to get a program like this on the back. Everything is in there. It's really convenient. There are 2 towers to the hotel, so there's a main tower and a south tower. This is probably the first mistake that you'll make, and you'll realize that which tower am I in and where do I have to go. One thing that was a bit of a surprise from the orientation although I understand it, but I just didn't see it coming, I suppose, was that you have attendance cards for almost every session that you attend. So you walk in the door, you have to pick up a card and you write in your jet number and your name. And there's a small box in the top corner of this card, and if you come late for a session, they still give you the card, but they tick it. So I'm not sure what happens. I have one late arrival. Word of advice, the elevators, as they say, get packed. It's seriously packed. So it's a massively inconvenient situation when we're on the 12th floor of 34 floors in the South Tower, and it took us to get down sometimes about 15-20 minutes because every elevator is completely packed. So two things that people ended up doing: number one, you just press up and down and you take any elevator you can in any direction, because eventually you'll get down to the floor you need to be on, which is faster than waiting for just down, because everyone comes down and the elevator stops everywhere, so you can't get on because it's always full. The second one is that although you are told not to, there is a emergency flight of stairs and a service elevator. I don't mean to tell you you should use this, but to the point that it just becomes so slow to get down, you might just be late for a lot of sessions if you don't know that there is another option. And to be honest, you'll probably find that there are some people doing it already. Word of caution on that. So the very first day, Monday, for one of our sessions, maybe right at the morning actually, I ended up using the emergency staircase with one other guy. We followed another group in, but late. They took the service elevator down. We didn't know that, and we took the stairs, and we got out in a cleaning area in the back alleys of the hotel. We then got lost to the cargo unloading area in the basement of the hotel, back up to another semi-cleaning and food storage area, and eventually we were lost at the back of a kitchen of one of the restaurants on the second floor. And a very friendly waiter lady who was also a bit confused, well, not really, she kind of said, you opened the door, you shouldn't have. And we went, yes, so sorry, please help us get out of here, because we couldn't get back into that hotel proper. We really had no idea where to go. Nothing is marked in the back in a way that makes it easy to know, unless your Japanese is really good. Ours wasn't. So just be careful about that, I suppose. So orientation day one, you'll see the program. Anyway, it's really good. Orientation as a whole I actually found to be quite relevant. So many people say it's quite boring, it's long, there's a lot of speeches, blah blah blah. There are a few speeches. The days do feel quite packed. You're quite tired by the end of each day. Some of our speeches were really good. So we had, for specifically one at the start, expectations of you as a jet participant. The second session of the first day, not the second, well anyway, you'll get it, and that was done by I think vice principal from Shizuoka, from one of the schools there, and he was a really good speaker. So that was a fantastic session. Everyone was laughing. The information was really valid. It's good. It is actually a really well. I think they actually do take quite a bit of feedback and try and make it better every year, or we're just getting lucky. I'm not sure. I also heard an idea that some people would be watching videos instead of real sessions, because we were Group A and it's been recorded for the other sessions. I don't know if that's true. I don't think so, but maybe that's for Group C or for people who come completely outside of a group time. I can't believe that they would do that, but it's my first time on the program. So anyway, all right. So So day one ends, and then there's a welcome reception. So the welcome reception was back in the main room. There's a Concord room in the main tower, which is really large and could fit everyone. So we were there again on day one for a bit of food. And I actually left that slightly early because I had also made plans to see some friends, and I thought that the evenings were free. So this welcome reception started at 6:30 until 8, and then you could go. I was there until maybe 7:15, and then I left. That one didn't have an attendance card, so that was okay, I suppose. But I would recommend staying for a while. It's nice to mix a little bit. We had some people from the embassies come say hi. So we had someone from the American embassy come do a short speech, and we from South Africa had someone do a short speech, and I think maybe the Jamaican embassy. I can't remember now, to be honest. But anyway, that was really good. So make a bit of time, and then you can go out in the evening again if you want. Be careful not to blow all your money. Tokyo can be very expensive very quickly if you aren't thinking about what you're doing. But we're in a great location, so do go out and just walk around. It's really nice, even if you just walk around. So then day 2 starts off, and where day 1 was a little bit of general information and so forth, day 2 is very much focused on the type of work you'll have to do in the classroom. So there's a few big boxes, and it's all run by the mixed people. So we had a lot of people from the British Council come do things. I was in all the elementary sessions, which was a lot of fun. For anyone that remembers that, I don't like lemons, which was absolutely hilarious at the time. We were very tired. So there was speaking, and then a lot of sections. So speaking for senior, speaking for junior high school, speaking for elementary, grammar for each, writing for each, vocabulary for each, and then disaster preparation, which was the last session. Of all the sessions, I feel this one is the one that could have been improved a little bit. I was a little bit sick on the Tuesday, not a lot, but I had a slight fever, so I think I was maybe also a bit tired at this point. But the guy who did it, I felt, just read everything off his laptop, and he could have just kind of looked at the page, I think, and spoken, but it's not a big deal. The information is still good to know. And then we had a host and prefecture meeting, so you get to meet the other people who are in your group. So we finally got to meet everyone in Nagasaki, because I'm in Nagasaki now, so that was really nice. And there's also people from your placement, so we had 3 people from Nagasaki meet us at the hotel, and they were flying with us back as well. They are going to fetch every single group, and they're coming back again. So they explain a few things to you, which is really nice. And then there's a luggage collection for some people. Don't worry too much about the luggage collection. It's just to speed up the whole situation. If you can carry your luggage and you don't have an extra massive bag, then you can always just hand it into the bus before you get on the bus the next morning. But if you can give your luggage in the night before, then you just save some time. What should you give in? Anything that's bigger than what you could take on a normal domestic flight. So for instance, we all pretty much pitched the next morning without having given in our small stroller bags or our backpacks, because that's what you can kind of walk around with anyway. But I did check in my stroller bag because I just didn't want to carry it around. It's just too heavy and I'm way too lazy. And then the last day, so from South Africa's side, we had an embassy visit. So on Tuesday evening, we all kind of got lost and found our way to the South African official residence. Not everyone does this. I think American people had a meeting, but there's just too many of them. So I think I don't actually know how many jets there were that arrived in Group A, but it's a few hundred. So maybe 1,000 and something. I don't know. There's a lot of people, and by far like 80% of them were from America. So probably the embassy just had nowhere to take them. That was big enough anyway. We got to go to our embassy from South Africa, and we got to meet a few dignitaries again. And they actually seem quite involved in our program, not to the extent that they would talk to you every day, but they're aware we're here. They take care of people who get in trouble. They give us a few words of advice. There's a few things we can get involved in. If you're in Tokyo, it's a lot easier, obviously, but even not, sometimes they visit the prefectures. So that was actually impressively great, really cool. And for anyone interested in, for instance, another scholarship exchange program or sort of between their country and Japan, your embassy would know about things like that. So I'm, for instance, interested in the Abe Master Scholarship as one of the things I could maybe be doing, and our embassy knows about that. So it was really great to ask them a few questions, get a few business cards, be able to ask them to give in touch with us, in terms of the process and what we can and cannot do, because we're already in Japan. So then we went back, and then sleeping time, and the next day, Wednesday, we get up, and again it's a little bit of a hack with the elevators, and then we're eating breakfast, and everyone's kind of going off in their separate ways. Goodbye previous South African friends. This was a big win. So I'm quite used to traveling around the world, and normally it's by myself, but coming to Japan in a group with South African people was an absolute blast. Just some of the coolest people I've met in a long time. And we really had a fantastic time. So not to punt my own country, I think we've got great people anyway, but coming to the program with people from your country is definitely very convenient. So we took a flight to Nagasaki, and I think people from Kagawa or something similar, very close, well, they had another short flight on, but they came with us on the same flight, with the people who came to meet us at the hotel from Nagasaki as well. So again, we've got people taking us to the airport, talking us through everything and that we may or may not do, and then just kind of napping with us on the flight because everyone's a little bit tired still. So at this point, things are again more specific to your placement, but no one was left standing at the airport without someone fetching them, because I'm in Omura, which is literally where the Nagasaki airport is. We had the local ALT group and our coordinators boss meet us at the airport, which is really nice. And now this is day 2 technically. So yesterday we did apartment registration, we paid our kimina and so forth. I ended up paying 16 months, 160,000 yen. We activated the gas, the water and electricity is already running. We did some first breakfast shopping, so I've got a little bit of fruit and water and stuff. Fruit is quite expensive in Japan, vegetables not so much. Apparently this comes from maybe from the time when fruit was still considered more of a candy, like a treat compared to a food. I don't know. And you also get your income, so there's a few things, and you need to keep this with you when you do anything official, because signatures plus this, and you need to keep this with you as well. We've apparently had the police start to check up on people for their resident cards, which may have expired. So we were told just make sure you have it, you don't want to have any issues. But again, actually, our local BOE got involved and phoned the police after one of these incidents and kind of asked them a bit about, why are you conducting the questioning in such a way, blah, 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 because it was not really necessary to do it the way they did. So that's nice, because once more people seem to take care of us. One thing that's very different as soon as you arrive, and I had a bit of a dip yesterday, it's a lot, you're tired, you're finally at your placement, but there's a lot going on. Today we're going to do a short visit to the BOE, and then a lot of other registration things and so forth. And then tomorrow, actually, I think we're not visiting our schools, which I thought we would do on the Friday. I bought my predecessor's little K cards and bicycle, and we're going to go register that and kind of get sorted. So I arrived. I didn't like my apartment very much when I got here. It's very much on the street, and it doesn't feel like home right now. It's very clean. It's not empty. I got a lot of stuff from my predecessors. I think some of this has been here a while, but I had to have a little bit of a nap, take a shower, and just kind of stroll around. I went to visit one of the ALTs. There's one of the supporting ones very close by my area. We had a drink, talked shit, and felt way better. So this morning I feel great, actually. I woke up a bit early, but I'm really excited once again, which I'm also very happy about. I didn't want to be negative. But even for myself, someone who travels around a fair amount, going from orientation with all those people to coming to Omura and having not the training wheels come off, but kind of like the social structure and familiarity fall away, there was a little bit of a emotional wiggle. I felt a bit down yesterday. But yeah, so I think that's about it. And I don't really know what happens from there. So that's what happened then, and then it was now, and then I don't know what happened. So feeling really excited. I'm definitely going to allow people to come stay over. I've actually got a fold-out couch already because I got a lot of stuff here. Please enjoy orientation. You only really need to make sure of one thing, which is that you've got your suit and maybe a few changes like 2 shirts or whatever. The rest you can solve when you're here. Even if you don't have all your omiyage, you don't have to give that of the first day when you arrive at your place, nothing. And we're hitting 20 minutes-ish, so I'm going to stop. And please do enjoy. Group B, C, D, E, F, whoever else is still coming.